I mean, you know, I talked to Macklemore as well while all that was going on, and Macklemore said the same exact thing to me that you said. I think the problem with some of the Lord Jamar had an issue with, I think, Yellow Wolf or somebody like that. You know, I think Macklemore's response was correct in terms of, you know, when you are taking criticism from an OG like Lord Jamar, someone who has come before us and put it down in the game, there's a certain amount of respect that you have to go into the conversation with. And I think some of these younger white artists got in their feelings about what Lord Jamar said and didn't give him his proper respect just as an OG. Just because you don't agree with what the OG says doesn't mean you disrespect him. And I like the fact that Macklemore was able to take that criticism and state his opinion, but not state it in a way that's disrespectful to Jamar. You know what I'm saying? You know, white rappers, white graffiti artists, white DJs, white b-boys have been involved in hip-hop since the beginning. You know, music is colorblind. Music doesn't have a color. But the only way that you can truly appreciate a book is to know the history of its author. Even though you don't have to be a specific race to participate in music or to enjoy it, if you don't respect the origins, then you being disrespectful of it. And I think what Lord Jamar is saying, that I think Lord Jamar is speaking in street terminology. He's speaking to the block. When Lord Jamar goes on VladTV, I feel like he's looking at it like I'm speaking to the hoods across America. So he's speaking in a language with a manner that is not academic, you know. And so it's I think it becomes easy to pick apart his argument when it's not done from an academic sense. And I think Macklemore's answer was more academic. There is an issue with the interpolation of hip-hop. There is an issue with whitewashing in hip-hop or white privilege in hip-hop. Macklemore did a record called White Privilege. You know, I think Macklemore as an artist recognizes it. I think from the white MCs that I'm a fan of, from Eminem to Macklemore to LP, they recognize their privilege and they deal with it. I don't think Lord Jamar necessarily did the knowledge on Macklemore's history of what he's put in the game before. I think he bought into the Macklemore that's being sold to us. And I think he criticized that. And I think that's why Macklemore was able to agree with that criticism. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't think the terminology of white rappers are guests in hip-hop and should wipe their feet on the rug and, you know, all that. I don't agree with all that. I don't agree with Lord Jamar when he talks about a uniform. There's a lot of things that Lord Jamar has said to you that I don't agree with. But I agree with the premise of what he's trying to say. There is a problem with interpolation in hip-hop, white privilege in hip-hop. There is a problem with the feminization and emasculation of black men in hip-hop. So when Lord Jamar speaks out against what he considers the gay agenda, I feel like that's what he's really speaking on, the emasculation of the black male image, which to me is a real issue. I just think that sometimes, because he's speaking in a street manner, some people miss that point. Hip-hop was invented by blacks and Latinos in the South Bronx. That is undeniable, that's unquestionable. Now once we establish that as fact, who does hip-hop belong to? Does it only belong to the people who invented it? No, it belongs to the world. And what world are we living in? Hip-hop was invented in the Bronx in the early 70s. We're in 2014. There's some white kid in some suburbs right now who grew up and his only influences is hip-hop. You gonna tell me he's not hip-hop just because he's white? I can't agree with that.